about to leave to go to the rink, and I had a whole idea of what I was going to record today, but then I thought to myself, I need to stretch before I try to do this, because I have learned throughout my skating career that I do a whole lot better if I stretch beforehand and warm up correctly. So I was about to sit down to stretch, and then I thought, why don't I just record me stretching to show you guys what I do before I skate? Of course, there are many stretches you can do, many stretches you probably should do that maybe I don't even know of. So if you have any stretches or warm-ups that would help me, please feel free to share that. I will just show you what I do before I skate. So this has worked for me in my career, and I'm going to show you what it is. Also, there's a cat who just tried to run away from me. We may have a little guest star. Say hi, Fred. He doesn't want to say hi. Fred, you're gonna have to move. Hey, my name is Nicole Fiore, and I roller skate. You know the old school roller skates, 2 in front, 2 in back? Yeah, those ones. I'm gonna be teaching you how to roll and entertaining you along the way. Come roll with me. All right, truth is, I filmed that intro the other day, and then I did go to the rink and I did teach and everything, and today I already taught, but I do need to stretch because I didn't get up early enough this morning. So here we are again. I didn't like the other footage anyway, so yeah, let's do this again. Will this work? Yeah. Just a warning, I did not speed up my stretching in this video, so you guys can do this real time with me if you'd like. If you are just trying to see what stretches, feel free to just skip forward a little bit each time, because I did hold these stretches because I actually stretched. Yeah. I'm not gonna mic me today, so we'll see how this turns out. Hopefully you guys can hear me well. The audio on the phone is typically pretty darn good, so I'm hoping that's the case. Okay, so I start in this normal stretch. Now, I have never been able to do a middle split. I can do a split with my left leg in front, but I've never been able to do a middle split. So from this angle, this looks like my legs are pretty far, but they're actually not. I'll show you a clip from the other day. But I start here. Now, I try to keep my back fairly straight. Eventually in my lifetime, I want to be able to do a middle split. We'll see if that ever happens. But I start here. So I basically hold this position until it doesn't really hurt anymore. I just kind of chill here. If there's a TV on, great. If there isn't, I'm just alone in my thoughts and I kind of use it to meditate. But I pretty much hold this position until it doesn't hurt anymore. I try to like wiggle my toes a little bit, make sure my knees are straight. I used to do my homework like this. This helped a lot in my stretching when I was younger, but I don't really have the patience to do that anymore. Once you're done with this stretch, this general stretch, then I start reaching toward my toes. So I typically start all my exercises to the left for whatever reason. So I just reach over and touch my toe. Now I don't start by rotating. I start with just a lean to the toe because it stretches this whole side. I try my best to count to 15 to hold each stretch. Sometimes I get impatient. Then the other side. This one is actually sore today. I'm tired. Sometimes I do an extra long series of stretches, and then I've never really done yoga, but I feel like I know some yoga moves. Sometimes I do that when I don't want to go to the gym and work out. So I use that as my workout some days. Some days it's necessary. Okay, then I turn and touch my knee, my face to my knee, as close as I can. Then the other side. Then once I'm done with those ones, I take the opposite hand, reach all the way over, stretch, and reach toward my toe. Pretty fun. I have nothing on right now because I wanted you guys to be able to hear me, but typically I have music or a TV or something on because this gets pretty boring. This one hurts today. Remember to breathe through these. Okay, once you're done with that, I go straight forward. And try to touch your forehead to the ground, if it's a clean ground. Okay, that's enough of that one. Then I put my legs all the way straight together. I'll turn sideways for this one so you guys can actually see what I do. So I'm like this, right? Kind of blend into my couch. So legs are straight. I try to straighten them as much as I can. Sometimes this stretch is a lot. Sometimes I'll go against the couch or the wall and I'll just try to hang my head. And I don't know why this hurts so bad sometimes, but sometimes my neck is so tight that just the weight of my head really hurts it. And I try to stretch my neck out. And I stretch all the way forward. Some days I can touch my forehead to my knees, some days I cannot. I don't think I can do it today, but I try to just hold this position at my toes. Then if you can reach your toes, no problem. Try to wrap your hands so that your hands go around your feet like this. Ow. And do it looking forward, then do it looking down. Oh, gosh, that one. Then from here, I pull one knee in. So one knee is straight ahead of me, straight out. My left knee right now is pulled in, so my foot is against my leg. And then I stretch just that one side. Now during all of this, I try to keep my foot straight. I try not to point, try not to flex super hard, just keep it. It helps if I do have shoes on because then the shoe kind of holds it in place. But for me, my calves get really tight from skating. I think because I use my toe stops so much. So I try to do this stretch with my foot straight because that helps loosen up my calves. It hurts, but it helps. Go on the other side, so straight ahead, pull that knee in. Try my best to keep my knee down, but obviously it's not down all the way today. This is a cool angle. This might be the thumbnail. We'll see. Goofy poses on here. Okay, then just for good measure, I put my feet back together and try to stretch further. Okay, now from there, I go onto my feet and instead of pressing all the way up, like if you put your booty on your heels, I try to lower my heels so that it stretches right here, like kind of my Achilles. That gets really tight, so I try to stretch that before I come up all the way. Then once that is nice and stretched, I do come up all the way. Now this stretch, where can you see my whole body? I'm gonna hit the wall. So this stretch, I try to reach the ground. I try to palm the ground. If you can touch your toes, wherever you can touch, start there. Then you can go further as time goes on. But I try to touch my palms to the ground, and then I try to pull my face as close to my knees as I can. Okay, now that's a really fun one to do on skates because your skates are higher. So if you can touch your palms to the ground with shoes on or barefoot, try doing it with your skates on because you'll be higher and the ground is further. That's a really fun one to do. After that, let me think, what do I do? It's weird explaining this as I'm going through it because normally I just like go through it, no problem. What's next? Oh, okay. This is a fun one and this is hard for a lot of people. So if you can't get this one right away, it's not a problem. But I bend, so I'm gonna start with my left leg bent. So I bend my left leg like this, and then try to keep my right leg straight back like this. You can't see my right leg, so I'll show you from this angle. So my left leg is bent like this. My right leg is straight. You can see how little my butt is. And then I push my hip down toward the ground. So my left foot and my hip are really close together. Now, obviously, like, I don't know if anyone can do this, but my hip is not fully, the front of my hip is not on the ground fully, but it's close to the ground. So I try to keep my leg straight so that my knee is on the ground and the top of my foot is on the ground. I like this stretch, so I hold this one for a while, typically. Another part of my body that gets really tight from skating is the fronts of my hips, so I try to really sit in this stretch. Start wherever is comfortable for you and then try to pull yourself up from there so that your back is straight or arched. Then from there, if I'm feeling really good, I'll start to rotate, so I'll open up. I still don't turn the foot. I just open up and twist, and then turn the other way. Then if I'm feeling really good, I'll pull my foot up. Getting out of these stretches is kind of the hardest part. Okay, now the other side. I used to do these before I would go out and practice every day when I was competing. I'm not as good at doing them now, but I try to when I give myself time. I try to go through all of them. If I can only go through some of them, that's fine. But as I choreograph and stuff, there are so many moves that I go into and I'm like, this would be a whole lot better if I had stretched before I tried to do this. This stretch stretches both legs, so it stretches the front of the hip of the back leg, but then it stretches the hip and kind of the top of the thigh of the front leg. My back has to crack. chilling. Okay. Now, I think this is the last one. I stretch my legs straight out. Then I'm gonna start with the left leg. I pull the left one back this time. Now it's not fully behind me. I'll show you from this angle. It's like this, kind of to the side, like that. And then I just lay back. Now this one's hard to see. I'll show you another angle in a second, but this one again stretches the front of the hip, and this is always the best at the end of practice because I was always so tired, and I would do it before and after practice, and I was like, just go to sleep right now. Sometimes I would fall asleep. Here, let me show you a different angle of this one. So I put my foot like that, and then I just lay back. My brother always said this one looked like my leg was broken. It kind of does. But yeah, that's that. And then you do it on the other leg. Sometimes my knee pops, and that does not necessarily feel good in this position, but I don't feel bad. If you do these before you skate and after you skate, I promise your body will feel better. I promise. Okay. Stretching is super important, and I encourage everyone, if you're a skater or not, I encourage everyone to stretch. My husband had back issues for a really long time. His back was always hurting. Every kid injures their back pretty much, but he had injuries from a while ago. So he had pain every day, and it wasn't like sharp pain, so nothing specifically was wrong, but he started stretching and that took the pain away. So he stretches every morning. I encourage everyone to stretch. Our bodies need it. They need it, I promise. And it'll make you a better skater and just a better human. So let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you have other stretches and exercises that you like, and I can try to add those to my routine. And yeah, see you guys next week. Well, wasn't that educational? Go ahead and like this video and subscribe to my channel while you're at it. You know, if you want to learn how to be cool and not fall down so much. Oh, I woke her up. Look how cute Kevin is. Kevin doesn't get a lot of screen time because she likes to hide. But she's so